Do you like good things?
Sometimes. No, I don't. I only like the best things.
Okay. Because you're in luck.
What?
I've read all of 16 chapters of Iruma-kun.
Would 19? 0.5? 7.5?
Might be technically a little higher.
16.5? The 4 comas?
All of
less than 10%.
Technically 17 chapters. Holy shit.
It's so...
Iruma-kun's incredible.
It's so good.
I wish I would have started reading it earlier.
Yeah.
Because it's really, really good.
I've already caught up. I've read all of it for years. I think it started in 2017, October. It's appropriate.
Oh, spooky month. Because it's super spooky. It's a really scary manga.
Yep.
My little bean Iruma is thrust into such a
scary
scary situation.
world, which is the least scary situation he's ever been in his life. So the premise of Iruma, welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun.
Mashita Iruma-kun.
Yeah, there's no translated official version,
there's
so
no
it has
English
to be
version. Yeah.
It's great. He basically lives alone forever because his parents have no fucking preservation
from the
instinct.
Moment he learned how to walk, which was premature, might I add.
Yeah, he's real quick.
Was on his
he's
own.
A smart boy.
He's
at the age of
boy.
1, he went on a fishing boat and caught fucking trout or something.
At the age of 2, he helped write a manga.
Yes.
But he's a super good boy who cannot say no.
Yes.
And just likes helping people.
Yes. Beyond likes, doesn't understand a world where he doesn't help people.
It has a broken mind state around saying no.
Yeah. He's fucking Jim Carrey's yes man.
Yes. His mother determines that a good path in life to take is to sell her son to a demon to be given riches.
A good path in life was getting into demon summoning as a hobby.
It's pretty fun.
And then being like,
oh, I can get shit out of this.
What can I trade? My child. So he's a 14-year-old Babel who gets fucking bought by a high-ranking demon.
Good old Sullivan.
Who wants a fucking great mustache. Good design.
Incredible.
All the designs are great.
He is a silver fox, if there ever was one. He purchases or trades for Iruma because he, over anything else, desires a grandchild.
Yeah,
and
because all the other
sired any
demons,
children.
All the other high-ranking demons are bragging about their grandkids.
He's like,
I feel left out.
Yeah. So he is the most ideal fucking Oji-san
grandpa
ever.
Best.
Fucking immediately offers him tea and cookies and makes him comfortable.
Sweets, puts him in a big comfy chair.
He's incredible.
Pampers him.
Incredible. It's a wonderful setup.
It's great. It's all within chapter 1 that happens, and then
has the craziest
goes
chapter
to the
1.
demon school.
Yes. So to fit in, he attends demon school. And my God, in the demon world, it's I guess just hell. I don't know if they ever name it.
Underworld. I forget the Japanese word.
Yeah.
Rengoku.
Gehenna.
Whatever. Gehenna, of course.
Humans are seen as like urban legends, like Bigfoot.
It's like believing
aliens.
in superheroes.
Yeah, like they're not real.
Yeah.
And as a young demon, you grow out of it and accept reality.
It's Santa Claus. It's like when I get to be a high enough demon, I'm gonna meet humans and make deals with them. That's like the aspiration.
And my God,
it's great.
Good shit.
Yeah. So volume 1 is fucking amazing. Chapter 1, they give you like the entire setup of the premise, like 2 of the 3 main characters, and a bunch of shit happens, and it's really fun and entertaining, and also sad how badly Iruma has been beaten down by the world.
He takes it. He takes some shit.
He's a good bean.
But he is a good boy.
He's a good bean. He can't... he finally is given the choice. Do you want to say no? But he can't. He's fucked.
He can't. So I guess we'll talk about the characters. We already talked enough about.
We talked about Volume 2 as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that now?
Sure.
Do a separate thing.
Sure, we can talk about that.
Yeah. Volume 2. Volume 1 is an amazing setup.
Yes.
Introducing you to the world and some of the basic main characters.
The little arc Iruma goes through in just the first volume of scared little boy to
fish out of water to fucking mid volume 2 being like
accepted.
The goal is not going home.
Yeah.
The goal is not like stuck in Strange New World, find a way home. It's stuck in Strange New World, adapt, overcome.
When asked if he wants to return to the human world, Iruma
stutters,
just pauses and is like,
Of course I...
maybe?
And then it just gives you comparison shots of then and now.
Yeah. Very good.
Very well paneled and paced, and the story is great, and the characters are great, and the art's great.
Yes.
And then by the end of Volume 2, you're like, oh, this isn't a slice of life. There's like a goal.
There is actually definitive
There's
goal
progression and a goal immediately.
Going into it, I assumed it would be more similar to Konosuba, where there is an overarching goal, but it does not matter.
It's just a premise, and then the characters just... It's a parody of things that have that goal. If Konosuba wasn't a parody of something, it wouldn't even have that goal, because it wouldn't matter to any of the jokes. But, like... Iruma is like a really good blend of comedy and like shonen and like emotional moments and character payoffs.
Oh, I was fucking tearing up in chapter 3.
Chapter 3 is fucking hard. Chapter 3 goes a little hard.
It just like it's one of the few things I've read that like I just am smiling while reading it.
It's hard.
It's so good.
It's so pure and it tapped like that's one of my favorite things about the world and the concept is that the demons are a very interesting take on demons, is that they love mischief and fun.
Yeah.
Not necessarily evil. They just like lighthearted things.
Yeah.
And they just like having fun.
Yeah.
And that fits the tone of a manga where people are fucking flipping out all the time and turning into bean form.
They do some good beans. The abstractions of the characters are one of my favorite things about it.
The low
when
detail.
When it zooms out and you just have...
a white silhouette with like eyeballs.
It's wonderful.
And like that's got to be like the reason they all have horns or something, is so that you can just turn them into a horn silhouette.
You squint and you're like, I think that's Iruma. That's Clara.
And despite like the first volumes being fucking 5 years ago at this point, the art is adorable.
Oh,
it totally fucking holds up.
It's really incredible. I have so many screenshots that I might as well have just taken every single fucking page.
Yeah, I went to go out and buy the volumes because I was like, this one's probably my favorite manga. I can't. There's no physical. There's no official like subscription. There's nothing you can do to give them money other than import the fucking books.
Yep.
So that sucks.
It's really.
But it also means there's no reason not to read it.
Yeah.
There's no moral quandary. They're not giving you an option.
If you're French.
Apparently, yes. It was crazy to see the English written out on a volume cover. Iruma.
It's silly.
It's fucking wild. But the end of the first volume is really good and sets like more of the premise of like one of the goals, but then volume 2 is like making good on that.
Yes.
And telling you how you would reach that goal. So as a comedy, it's really funny and endearing. The characters are great.
There's actually like a serious tone to it.
But as an action, like shonen thing, there's like fun. Like the art can look really cool when it has high detail. Like the wings.
Everything with Asmodeus.
It feels like hard swings in tone and art. Like the art takes like swings from like fucking 100% being adorable to like 60% Devilman.
Yeah. Like
really cool demon designs, and the wings are straight up the Devilman. Like thin 2D looking wings.
There are panels that remind me a lot of JoJo.
Yeah.
Just their stances.
But not JoJo references.
No,
I don't think I can recall as in all 260 chapters. I don't think there's ever just been a straight up reference to another piece of media.
Just in vibe, I guess, and the way the characters hold themselves.
Yes, it's very stylish, and they're having a lot of fun. Either whenever they zoom in and do more detailed, it's like the character's cuteness is determined by how close the camera is to them.
Yes.
Because when they're far away, they're adorable little fucking abstractions. But when they get close, it's like a really serious shot.
Do some detail.
Or a really sad or really emotional fucking image. So on every point, every scale you could scale this is a 10.
Yes.
The art is great at everything it is. Mm-hmm. It's not it's really cute, so when it tries to be serious, it fails. Mm-hmm. It can easily go between those things really well.
Yes.
And a great example of that in terms of design is the variety of the demon designs are great. Even the ones you just 90% see them on the volume 1 cover and in big groups. Yeah. You see the different types there are. And then you see certain characters share certain traits, so you can assume they might be from a similar family line.
Yeah.
But yeah, Volume 1, Volume 2 are...
They're bangers.
Amazing start.
I finished reading each of those volumes, and when I did, I came to you and I was like, motherfucker,
it's pretty good.
It's really good.
You finish Volume 1 and you're like, Iruma pretty good. And you finish Volume 2 and you're like,
Iruma keep getting better.
Iruma pretty good. In the different... He went a different way.
Yeah.
Things happen. Because... there are fucking things I've read that don't develop a serious storyline. Kaguya is a great example.
Yeah.
Kaguya-sama is, jokes. Mm-hmm. And then it starts to have, progression over time. But it's still mainly... It's fucking SpongeBob episodes. There are general progression in cartoon world. Yeah. But 90% of the stuff might as well not be canon.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Every chapter of Iruma... even if it has a joke premise, these characters are going out shopping or whatever, is a fucking, by the end of it, you're there was some... There was either plot progression, introduction of, new concepts and world building, or, just really good moments.
It is meticulously crafted. There's an Iruma Bible out there.
There's gotta be an Iruma Bible.
There has to be.
It's gotta be.
The Iruma Apocrypha.
It's the Ars Goetia.
Oh. So we'll get into the characters.
Yeah, more specific
we've
stuff.
talked enough about Iruma on his own. So
Iruma's
incredible. He's a really good protagonist.
The one thing we haven't talked about, I guess, is that everything we said about him at the beginning he's already become a more confident character in 16 chapters. He's already become fucking... Now we can just talk about more of the details.
Yeah.
You should read it.
You should really read
Iruma.
It's very wonderful.
It's super fucking pleasant. I would say it's a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
There's no point in even rating any of the other volumes, because I think it just keeps getting better as you learn more and more about the characters in the world and the cast gets bigger. So it would just be 10 and then everything would be a 10, so it's pointless.
Yeah.
It's peak fiction.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty fucking good.
So
now we'll spoil some of the details and stuff.
Yeah.
Would you want to talk just the characters in general?
Yeah.
Talk about the baddies.
Well, we'll go through
the dummy thick trio.
The main cast, starting with Asmodeus, good old Azu.
Alice Chan.
He's like Yusuf Alburea, so he's really good.
He's pink hair winner.
His introduction, because you had told me before that he was your favorite character, and I looked at him and I was kind of like, I don't get, from what you told me about Iruma, I was like, I don't get how this kind of character fits into it.
Yeah.
But his introduction...
He'd be the Machias.
Yes.
He'd be like a serious straight man to it.
His introduction is so wonderful, being shown up by Iruma.
And it's not even his fault.
It's not even his fault.
It's his fucking grandpa Sullivan wanting to make happy memories, so he forces Iruma into the position of the freshman representative.
Fucking gets him to speak cursed words that if he mispronounced would explode his limbs.
Yeah, but of course starting to read it, he's just like, oh, Grandpa wrote me a thing for me to say so that I don't have to worry about it. And then as he goes, everyone is just getting more hype.
Yes. And then Asmodeus confronts him. He was the one that was supposed to give this speech, and he challenges him to a duel.
Yeah.
And
he's got the noblesse oblige and shit. And so he's like, I worked for this.
Yes.
You gotta prove you're better than me.
And this is when they describe Iruma's power.
Yes.
Is that he is impeccably good at avoiding unfortunate situations.
It's the opposite of fucking Danganronpa's main character being the luckiest student.
Yeah.
Of just like, my power is that my life has been so shit, I know how to get out of Dodge.
Yeah. So...
2 powers. Can't say no. Can't get hit.
Yeah. So they introduced that he knows how to fucking use Aikido.
Yeah. Aikido techniques.
And Asmodeus comes at him and he redirects him.
Yeah.
And as a result, both of them fall to the ground.
But the spell he read previously, the bonus you get for reading that spell that would kill you.
Besides being a baller.
Yeah,
and
besides
being able to read it.
Being a fucking statement to read it.
Yeah.
It's a double statement because its ability is pointless. It makes it so that you can't fall for 24 hours.
So as they are falling to the ground, the spell takes effect and Iruma suplexes that motherfucker.
Yeah, in order to not fall. And saving best girl Eiko.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then, as a result of defeating Asmodeus...
In combat.
Asmodeus is now owned by Iruma. Not by a weird, like, blood debt thing.
Yeah.
Asmodeus just completely flips as a character.
He's like, you're pretty cool. You
absolutely
beat the shit out of me.
Loves Iruma.
Yeah.
Like, the fucking first panel he's in after getting suplexed is, like, frontal face shot, blushing,
holding
messy
his
hair.
hands.
Yeah. He's adorable. It's fucking great. And that's just chapter 1.
That's just chapter 1. And
chapter 1 is fucking goated.
So now, I had to read more. I think Clara is probably my favorite character right now. The third of the trio.
Yeah. I think all 3 of them are
they're all incredible,
best.
But Clara's chapter is chapter 3.
Yeah. Chapter 3 got them hard swings to like not being comedic at all.
Yeah.
Just being lighthearted and then not lighthearted.
So each of the demons has an ability.
Yeah,
so Asmodeus can control fire, and Clara has the most broken ability ever.
That's not his ability. That's just magic,
man. He can do fire. That's different.
He is... They're good at using magic.
Yeah.
Clara's thing is her bloodline ability.
Yes.
That's different.
So Clara's ability is that anything she has ever seen she can pull out of her pocket.
I don't know. I assume it copies it. I don't know if it just takes the thing from somewhere else. I'm pretty sure it just creates a copy of what she's seen.
So as a result,
she just pulls it out of her pockets.
She is the definition of fucking gremlin.
Yeah.
She is insane.
Yeah.
She fucking rolls herself up in carpets and knocks people over
like a bowls down fucking hallways.
She's wonderful, but
as tiny and adorable and light green hair, lime green.
As a result of her eccentric personality and her ability, people just take advantage of her. And pretend to be her friend just so they can
get things that make their life easier.
Yeah.
But they also don't make good on that. Like, they don't actually genuinely play with her.
Yes.
But she's lived her like entire life being treated poorly but needing to provide compensation for people to just play with her.
It's incredibly upsetting.
It's very sad, and the worst part is that she knows she understands how this transaction works.
Yes. So Iruma and Asmodeus befriend her and play with her. And
Asmodeus befriends Iruma.
Yeah, so he's
befriends
tagging
Clara.
Along. He's tagging along, and they play house. And Asmodeus demands a divorce.
You ugly bitch.
Is
Asmodeus cares for naught but Iruma.
Yes.
But Iruma likes Clara, so Asmodeus deals with Clara.
It's fine now.
It's all good. That's the trio.
And they Iruma tells her that he just wants to be your friend.
Yeah.
And they don't need any compensation.
Yeah.
She just breaks down.
It's also fucking a good moment for Iruma because he's already fucking changing. Because he says, like, my parents told me to always accept shit.
Yeah.
Which clearly from them is they're greedy assholes.
Yes.
They will always take shit from other people. And he is not only doing something that is good friendship for her, he's doing something that is character growth for him. That he's breaking away from what his parents treated him like.
Yes.
More and more. So it's just a Chapter 3 is already like
incredible.
Set up, payoff. Clara is in one frame, and it's the 0.5 chapter, which probably is at the end of the first volume or something, which is them getting ready for school. Or like a day before the first day of school, probably, because Iruma's on like a fishing boat or some shit. And she's preparing compensation rather than like getting ready for school. Yeah. It's fucking great.
Yeah, Claire's incredible.
Claire, and she's adorable. Her. Every frame she is drawn differently. Every frame with any of these characters on
puffy cheeks.
Is a pot. Yes.
Cool. She get grumpy. Sometimes.
She get grumpy, and then she get wicked. That one shot where she's looking back, she's like, "Check this out. Yeah. I'm gonna put this man in a grave
machine on this motherfucker and tell him to pay for his own drinks."
Yeah, that's a good example of like them being demons and being more hardy. You can have more slapstick that doesn't have... Like, even the slapstick isn't... Like, the comedic styling of Iruma is both extremely Japanese and not Japanese at all. Yeah. Because there is no... It's not fucking straight man. Like, there's not a straight man. Mm-hmm. You'd think it'd be Iruma. But constantly, the role of someone being surprised by something else... is switched from character to character. Mm-hmm. It's like Iruma reacting to demon shit he's never seen before and being like, the fuck is going on? Yeah. To fucking Sullivan, high-ranking demon in the back of a fucking class assembly in bean form with his fucking camcorder going, giving a thumbs up. Yeah. Like, go, we need to take a picture before you enter the school.
So next up is Sabnok.
Yeah, and Sabnok Saburo.
Sabnok,
he's bro.
He's a big man.
Yes.
His introduction, it's wonderful.
And chapter 4 having the fucking friendship thing with Clara.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting to that. Don't worry.
That's just to wrap them together. Yeah. That Asmodeus and Clara are both great and they're introduced great, but then the trio's fucking the way they bounce off each other and emotionally support each other. Oh, these layers.
Yes.
But Sabnok,
he's had the least amount so far.
They join
the Misfits class.
Yeah, of people that were assembled specifically for people to attract attention off Iruma. Yeah. So that he doesn't stick out as a Who man. Yeah. And that's another thing. By like, would you say the end of volume or like mid volume 2 or the end of volume 2.
It does not matter.
It's not even about... It matters that he's a human in that he wants... If he could choose, he would become a demon so that he fits in with them. Yeah. But it's not like a fucking... It ain't Hannah Montana.
No.
The goal is not hide your identity. It doesn't matter.
It's not even fucking Blue Exorcist.
No, it's not hide your true identity from people that would think differently of you. Like... Introducing that the demons don't even know humans exist also tells you, like, their culture, if they met a human, they probably wouldn't care anyway. It's just something, it's just so that he can be somewhere he's not used to, with characters he doesn't know. And so that the world can be really fun and wacky.
Sabnok's introduction is as they are going to the classroom for the first time.
Which is all fucked up and run down.
They trigger a trap that sends a bunch of fucking bladed weapons at them. And Iruma dodges all of them because
that's his superpower.
And everyone's like, whoa, that was really cool. And this big guy steps up. He's like, oh, you pussy. You dodged them, and he has all of these weapons lodged in his body.
Yep. So you get the complete opposite. Iruma is the only one to dodge all of them. And Sabnok didn't even try. There were probably ones that were going to miss him.
And he jumped in the way.
And he probably grabbed them and stabbed him in his side. And he's not even bleeding. They're just sticking out. Yeah. Then he just grabs one of the swords and just crushes it into shards.
I'm going to say this is either a fault of the translation or my brain not working well. his backstory seemed very confusingly written to me.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Okay.
So, Sabnok is the best example. So that scene and, like, chapter 5, 6, and 7 are, like, the best examples of, like, things that have payoffs where I'm at.
Cool.
Things that are still important in, like, chapters 207 to 257.
Goddamn.
Of, like, him taking all those swords. That's super important and a really... Like, that's like a payoff you'd get if he was the main character and you had already read 200 chapters of Sabnok.
Oh my god.
Which is his backstory in chapter 7.
Yeah.
Which is these cliche-looking... He's, like, flashing back to his life as he's in danger.
Yeah.
Being, like, all these setups of, like, him being super important in the demon world and what his fate is and his destiny and that he needs to do this. And then he's, like... And he's obsessed with being the Demon King, and he loves the Demon King and being cool and respected. But it's not because of any of those things that happened in his past. It's just because he thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
He just wants to be the coolest motherfucker.
He's great, and his ability is interesting.
Oh, it's really
confusing.
It's really cool.
So he has a little dog tag, basically.
He's got a string of dog tags that are different metals.
Okay, and
it's easier when you see the colors.
All right. And he bites it, and when he bites it, it turns into a weapon.
Yeah, basically. A different weapon. Axes, swords, spears.
And that's pretty neat.
Yeah. And I can't remember if just because the anime's pacing brings stuff in from later chapters, but it's like, I think he made those, and then his bloodline ability is like you compress them. So it's like pills. If you've ever seen the Dragon Ball fucking Capsule Corporation, where they just shrink the stuff into the small capsules. It's like that. Like, he's made these things and he can bring them forth and carry them around easily with his little chain.
So, Iruma and Asmodeus, Claire, Sabnok, they're alright. They're alright characters. Amelie.
Volume 2 gets going.
Amelie is absolutely incredible. She is the student council president, and they build up to her for a little bit, where you see her subordinates and they're so serious, and you see her and she's sitting at her fucking desk with her fingers tinted, and she's looking at
a super serious she's
like businesswoman.
She is not drawn chibi at all. She is drawn like she is very tall. She has like long hair. She's got these adorable little fucking hair.
Horn ear
things. They look like ears, but they don't have an insert for hearing. Yeah. They're just like they're like the devil version of a fucking ahoge. Yeah. Where it just is a hair thing that exists to show your your emotional state.
Yeah. I think it's the mangaka wanted a fox girl, but they're like, but they're demons?
Yeah, so it should be a little different.
Yeah. But so the first
And she's ostensibly because Asmodeus and Clara, all of these characters are love interests because everyone loves Iruma because he's Iruma. But she's essentially probably the most clear love interest because she's not part of the class.
The first thing you see is that she has a notebook with all these notes where she has already determined that Iruma is a human.
It's already double circled.
And she is looking for him.
Yeah, because because we skipped over the entire ring in Demon King.
Yeah.
Which is setups for making him more demon-like so that the plot can continue.
Yeah.
And him making the fucking Sakura tree, which she sees as a big red flag because she knows the forbidden texts.
She knows things that Sakura trees cannot exist in the underworld. They are human
it's a tree
design.
no one's seen before.
Yes.
Except Iruma and her.
So she takes her notebook and she approaches her.
She consults the forbidden
her library.
Knowledge.
And she pulls out a fucking
She
shoujo.
fucking does a sigil that she has to go through.
She locks this thing away, and she has a collection of a shoujo manga.
Yeah.
That is like the most generic fucking girl running.
It's literally called First Love. Hatsukoi
bumps into a boy and falls in love.
And you get to see it. Like, you see her opening a book, and then it's just a full 2-page spread of like the beginning of a rom-com.
And she is fucking doki
and
doki.
Then it just cuts to full page Amelie fucking
blushing, embarrassed,
big cheeks, like
trying
adorable.
To look away from it and peeking back
her
at
eyes
it.
are like sparkling, and then the next panels are like look back, look away. Look
Why
back.
is this making me feel the way that it is? I can't even read this
book
because
it's so dangerous. It's dangerous. She doesn't understand what she feels.
So she goes out to search for Iruma and runs into him
in the same way,
sets
echoing
up the same scenario, and she's fucking freaking out and blushing
because she perceives it as the humans, the fucking
like
demon,
the spell that
the
he is
human
casting
magic
on her.
ritual is to seduce by bumping into
and
someone.
Via a string of events, she finds out that Iruma loves this specific manga, can read it, and assisted in writing it.
And has worked on it.
And she fucking... It leads to...
Which also confirms that she knows that he's human.
Yes.
But she used... As a true demon, as a true demon
she
queen...
takes advantage of this.
Second year to first year, how you talk to short people. Grab their face and stare at them so they can't move.
Yes. And gets Iruma to read this manga to her after every school day, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's a hush-hush secret.
They have planned
no
meetings.
one can know.
She fucking put her phone number in his phone so
and
that she can request him
to go on dates with Iruma.
Dato.
To read this manga. And my god, it's wonderful. It is incredible.
It's such a good fucking immediate, like, it's not, she's like the smartest, most competent person at the school, immediately finds out he's human, and then immediately nuclear fucking disarmament. The fucking threat is disarmed by him understanding Japanese. And being like, oh, no, he's safe.
He's cool.
She ain't gonna get rid of him until, at the very least, they finish Hatsukoi Memory, which has
like 60
hundreds.
It's so big. It's
They
entire
show
shelf.
like a quarter of a shelf, and it's up to like 38.
Yeah.
And there are like 6 layers.
There are many. It's unclear if it's the same manga. I'd like to think that it is.
I assume because it's all hidden in the forbidden texts.
Yeah.
It's all gotta be either manga or just that one.
Yeah.
And that would also make sense with the parody of it, is that it's way too long.
Yes.
So that's great. That's a great, like, because that also introduces more of the human shit. Earlier in the first volume, they talk about human blood and, like, why humans would be super valuable beyond just making deals with devils and stuff. Like, all the stuff continues to be entertaining, really endearing, but also building.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just... You couldn't replace the characters and put them into, like, Konosuba or any other comedy thing. Because Konosuba is, like, pretty much as far as you can get to the opposite, where it is just comedy.
It's just
like, there's not much, but it's just the best you can get. It's just really well crafted. Whereas Iruma, like, later parts aren't even... It has a comedic tone, but it is not strictly a comedy.
Yeah.
It's what a shonen should be. Like, younger people can read this. Anyone can read it.
Yeah.
There are some things, like them mentioning torture and blood.
There are some some panels of Iruma across.
Where it's like, maybe that's a little hardcore for the kids. But, like, I think often reading a lot of shonen stuff, the most complained about things are fan service that feels out of place.
Yeah.
And bad comedy.
Yeah.
That you look at and you're like, I've seen this before so many times. The characters are likable. Like, it drowns out whatever... It feels like there is a editor off to the side at every manga that is like, hey, this is a shonen, so you've got to get that fan service in there, and you've got to get these specific jokes. Not even jokes like it. You've got to do these exact same setup and payoff straight man jokes. Which is fine, because normally there are other things.
Yeah.
But that still drags down some of the tone. Or, like, once you're endeared to the characters, it gets better.
Yeah.
But Iruma is just... Like, chapter 2,
good.
having the paneling is really good.
Yeah.
In terms of having the different sizes, having the different scales of the models, like, on-model character designs.
Yeah.
Like, changing to, like, the chibi forms, the more direct chibi forms, and then the straight-up regular anime proportions where they look really cute, or they look really serious. but fucking volume or chapter 2 having just large panel, 2 smaller panels at the bottom, and then the same panel recreated two pages later.
Yep.
That is just the fucking payoff to that setup.
It's wonderful.
And it's great. God, yeah. And the first chapters, because there's no official translation, the first chapters when you go to read it, I don't know if there even are alternatives really that you could find easily, but they're just translated weirdly.
Yeah, the first
once you get like
rough.
mid volume 2,
they clean it up.
It cleans a lot up, and then I don't think it's been a problem up until like.
It's
anything.
Nothing that you can't just fix in your brain.
Yeah,
like it's just some weird.
It's just
word
poor
choice
grammar
every now and
and
again.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
The more you've read of this stuff, the more you'd understand like what they were probably going for. Yeah.
So we'll go over the side characters quickly.
Yes.
We talked enough about Sullivan. Sullivan's
G-San,
Mr. Bean.
Grandpa
Mr. Bean himself.
A high-ranking, respected demon, principal of the school, which is why he could pull all the strings to provide for his grandson whenever he needs it.
Yeah. And,
automatically a way better parental figure than his actual family.
Yes, he treats him
who don't even get designs.
He bought him a goddamn phone.
It's true.
No.
He bought him a phone immediately so that he could always be... What does he say? Like, so I can always text you or whatever?
Always be in contact.
Yeah.
And then, like,
it's adorable.
4 pages later, he texts him.
Yeah. And but that's also a great thing, because he fucking... Isn't it... It's him calling him in the magic class, or the plant class, which is also to tell him a story thing that is important.
That is relevant to exactly what is happening in
at
that
the moment, which works as a comedy thing of like, oh, it's already too late.
Yeah.
Fucked up. But also being like, oh, that's cool, because that's going to be dope later.
Yeah.
And it's dope later in like 2 pages where they do the fucking him teaching him fucking how to use the magic.
Yep.
It goes from like, here's the phone. He gets this ring instead of a rank, which is part of the Demon King prophecy and everything, which is clearly showing where things are going to go.
With the golden band.
Then by blood contract, which human blood heals demons.
Yes.
So that's probably what that is referring to.
Yeah.
Which this is all just chapter 7. Introduces all this stuff, and then by the end of chapter 7, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, Iruma, the pacing of it feels like it could end like 50 chapters. Or like The Breaker. Like 90-ish.
Pretty short.
Sub 100. You do everything you need to do, and by the end you fucking come full circle.
Yeah, and in reality it's probably like, what, halfway through? Get to chapter 500 easily?
It might not. It might have to fucking end Demon School and become Demon World.
Might have to be Cold
Iruma. Yeah, Cold Steel 2 need to start soon.
So, next character, Sullivan's butler, Opera.
It's great.
They're pretty good.
It's great.
Not a whole lot to say beyond they're just good.
Yeah. It's just a very... they become, like... All the characters that you can name are great and have, like, really good development. Yeah. And it does better than any... The more chapters you read, the more obvious it'll get. Yeah. I think more than anything that isn't, like, Kiseki. It's so easy to fall into fucking... I think one of the most obvious comparisons to this manga is My Hero Academia. In terms of, like, school setting, class of misfits. Yeah. But where My Hero Academia will care about a character for, like, one arc or maybe a chapter, which will give them, like, a sad backstory or, like, one thing, it really doesn't care about them. Yeah. Iruma, it feels like it really cares.
Every character
in the spirit of how pure and beautiful and good feeling it is to read Iruma. Mm-hmm. Like, Sabnok's backstory things that are... they're flashbacks that are, like, jokes because of how jovial, and he just doesn't care about them. Yeah. He cares about those things, but they are not... They did not change him as a person. No. It feels like the demons were born, and they have ambition, and they live to fulfill those. They're very pure beings.
You sound like Amelie right now.
Yeah, ambition.
Wicked desire.
Yeah. And it's fucking great. And Opera is a great example. Opera just has a great design. Yes. That also meets what I said before of, like, you could see Amelie and Opera being, like, part of the same clan or type because they both have the ear horns. Yep. And they're both used... They're used more for Opera because Opera is more stoic, butler type. but you see more of the emotion in their ear pointies, or like light blushing or something.
Yeah.
But they basically just get chapter 10 or 11 teaching Iruma the game.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the game, by the end of the volume, getting that affirmation of like, oh, thank you for helping me.
Yeah.
Which you could tell just by Opera's reaction is probably not something they're used to getting.
Yeah.
Is being like outwardly appreciated. And Sullivan's not like a shit. He's not. Doesn't treat them poorly, but it's just you're confronted with Iruma's pureness. Even a heart of stone is just playing patty cake, holding hands. The text getting along is just floating in the air. It's great.
Caligo,
the sensei,
the teacher, he's pretty good. He gets fucked a lot.
Boy,
he gets fucked
constantly because he is the most depressed member of the cast.
I love the fucking interaction they have in the cafeteria where he sees that the three are together and he has like the A to B to C. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like he sees because the last time he saw them was fucking chapter 2, and then chapter 3 happens, and the Clara is introduced. Yeah. And now it's Iruma, Asmodeus, and Clara that he has to deal with.
And he's like, nope.
And they're not even in the class yet.
No.
And he is beanified in the most strict. He's fluffified.
That is some fucking...
Chapter 2
that is a tag.
Hurts that man.
There's a tag somewhere.
That's mind break.
Yeah.
He calls out of school sick because of what happens to him. He's great because he is like he's got the bags under his eyes. He's the Snape to this very clear like Harry Potter school setting. Teachers are important, teaching different aspects of a weird magical thing. He's great, and his design's great. He looks fucking stressed and mad all the time. But he still has a fucking logic to his personality. He's not just like a one note. Yeah. He's not just an asshole.
No.
There are already times, like the end of Volume 2 is like a good payoff for him being like, I really respect this class that I've been fucked with.
Yeah.
That I've been stuck with because of even that, like him being appointed as their homeroom teacher to the shit class.
Yeah.
Is because of the events in previous chapters, leading to a domino effect of him not being there when they were choosing who to have run the class. And he's great.
He's good.
Just like Opera. He hasn't got as much yet, but yeah, he's great.
So we'll move on to our just favorite moments. We've covered most of them already.
Just by talking about the characters, they're favorites because they have a weight and a depth to them.
Yeah.
But there are some that are just like, I like this panel.
Yes.
This panel is very funny.
Most of them are Amelie.
Yeah.
Let's get that out of the way.
They're adorable and funny.
I'll start with fucking... Iruma in the earlier chapters has a lot of anxiety around being friends with Asmodeus and Clara, and he doesn't think that they see him as like an actual friend because he's so different.
And he's never had friends because he's had to fucking fend for himself and work every day of his life. And he's been, just like Clara probably... Lots of people understand that if you ask Iruma something, he's not going to say no. They even show, like, the common Japanese... I assume it's, like, a common Japanese, like, bullying thing of, like, you're going to take my place cleaning up the classroom, and you're going to do it alone.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with my friends.
Totally.
Because you're a loser who doesn't have friends, so you should waste your time doing this thing instead of me.
So Iruma works up the courage to ask both of them to be... his friends, and it's a big moment for him, and both of them are like,
it's
what's
stone-faced.
We've never heard of that before.
What is that word?
About?
Because it's a Japanese exclusive word. Because all the words he's saying are being translated by Sullivan magic.
Yes.
So you don't get that many
so he says,
issues between demon language and...
So he says Tomodachi, and Clara thinks he says mochi.
Yeah. Because it's like, am I a food to you?
So he explains what it is to be friends. And he's like, yeah, like, Asmodeus, you're like my friend number 1, and Clara, you're friend number 2. And both of them hear that, and they're like, no, fuck that, I'm friend number 1.
I'm friend number 1. And then Iruma's like, okay, communism, we are all friend number 1. So and then he explains, like, a friend, like, you talk to each other, and you spend time with each other, and you have fun and hang out together. And cut to next chapter.
Oh.
Asmodeus, leader of the Friend Battalion.
Sabnok calls Asmodeus out for being
a little
Iruma's
bitch.
servant.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll have you know, I'm not Iruma's servant. I'm his friend.
In quotes, I am friend, because he has learned new language.
And it's incredible.
And Sabnok's like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like, I have signed an indenture. I will lay down my Persona Rank 8 social link.
Take that
I
hit.
will now take a fatal blow for Iruma in chapter 5 of 257.
The fucking same scene.
Yeah.
Sabnok calls out Asmodeus for having a weak familiar. He has a big snake serpent, a Gorgon serpent. And Asmodeus has like a horse, or sorry,
Kelpie.
a Kelpie. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sabnok has a Kelpie, and he says, "Oh, well, your fucking familiar is so much weaker because it has less legs than mine."
Mine has 4 legs. The fuck shit you
so
on?
in Sabnok's world, more legs equals more power. And
Maybe that's like a fucking not nemetic. Like that is like an instinctual thing.
Yeah.
Maybe with like the swords pointed out, he thinks of those as
Yes.
more legs.
That's more
which makes him
appendages. He's
stronger.
Yeah.
He thinks the
He has
Kelpie,
more
he thinks
points of
legs get
contact.
stabbed into you,
Yes.
and the snake has never been stabbed,
More
so
surface
it's weak.
area.
Yes, there's a clear logic to Sabnog not having logic.
It's wonderful.
It's a great fucking serious. Like you think he's just gonna be a fucking bro asshole, but he's immediately like not a threat.
Yeah.
And just a very serious, dumb. He's got himbo energy.
Yeah, he's boneheaded. I love him.
it's amazing, and his design's great.
Yes.
He's massive. All the designs are adorable.
100%.
Which hurts when you see him all bloodied up. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna fail at my goal.
Yup.
No.
Within 2 chapters of being
Yeah.
introduced?
Chapter 5 and then
at your
chapter
breaking
7.
point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then gets put in punishment zone where I will not smash things.
You will not.
He refers to Iruma as
His rival.
That's one thing where I wish it was a later chapter or better translation, because when he comes down, he refers to him when they come back from him saving his life as fucking emperor, or it's some kingly thing. He was I assume it's like Bochan or something in the Japanese. I haven't read the Raws at all, so I don't know. I can't try to translate it myself. But but then he switches from Asmodeus being his tentative rival to Iruma deserves that place because he's on some different shit.
Yeah.
He's on some giving up shit, putting your weapons down.
It's crazy.
And yeah, Iruma's fucking influence already changing the lives and perspectives of Amelie, Sabnok, fucking Clara, and Asmodeus.
Everyone.
Just making everyone's lives better. And Sullivan, because he gets his grandson.
He's not a sphere of influence. He is a being of influence.
Yes. Because
you
you get more surface area.
Yes. With that curve.
Yes.
Goddamn.
It's amazing.
I guess the only thing we haven't covered are the 4 comas necessarily at the half chapters.
The 4 comas.
That are just wonderful.
The 4 comas are the perfect distillation of like, we've introduced these characters, and for the first 2 volumes, they're pretty much like after every chapter is when they showed. I assume they just are next to each other in the magazine when it comes out. But they're compiled at the end of the volumes, and it tells you after the chapter like which one it is. And fucking they're all like it's not as much development except for like Eiko, where it's an entire character,
She's a character that
that
only
exists within the 4 comas, which is the girl they rescued or by suplexing Asmodeus prevented casualties.
Yeah. But she's great.
She fucking has a crush on Iruma.
Yeah.
And her 4 comas,
Yeah.
And because she gets fucking scared off by the Asmodeus protection squad.
Yeah, and the fucking other one, she's daydreaming about him, and he comes up right to
under
her
the
and starts
sakura tree he
cleaning.
made.
Yeah. And just it's incredible. She's just completely oblivious. To his
she's like,
presence.
one day I'm gonna be with Iruma under the sakura tree.
Like a foot away from
as
her,
he is
speaking to her.
Yeah, God, picking up her trash. It's fucking.
It's really wonderful.
So the 4 comas are more like payoffs to jokes, or they're just 4 comas.
Yeah.
They're not as serious, but it tells you like, man, the comedy in Iruma is really good. It's
very well paced.
It doesn't need to have like the main chapter stuff. The 4 comas are a great fucking accessory to it. It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. Read Iruma.
Read Iruma.
It's really good.
Yeah. For the purposes of these videos, read only volume 1 and 2 of Iruma.
Yeah.
And then wait.
Wait like a week maybe?
Wait a certain amount of time.
And then read volume 3 and 4 mysteriously when our volume 3 and 4 video comes out.
Most of these videos will probably be 2 volumes.
Yeah.
They start like 7 and 9, but then they become like pretty standard. They're each like 9 chapters long.
Yeah.
It's probably because the page count, because of how long page 1 is, or chapter 1 is.
Yeah.
It's probably 2-ish, 3-ish chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Iruma's really good.
Iruma's incredible. And, I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do.
Yeah, and the volume pacing is really good where they end. There's not often where they like end in the middle of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, most manga that I've read, I wouldn't...
It doesn't feel like they're made with the volumes in mind.
No, it doesn't. Because most chapters of manga are things just happen.
One-offs and or things that are longer than a volume.
Then you'll get to... each chapter builds to a thing instead of Iruma's each chapter being its own thing, basically.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. It's crazy how many ways it works.
Mm-hmm.
Where they work as one-offs in terms of they're fun to read weekly.
Yeah. Reading
them in chapter format, you get more of the arc pacing of in this amount of time, they masterfully set up the world, the basic main characters, and Iruma's place in the world. Yeah. And then when you get the fucking more details of the goal and potential ending of Iruma is the volume 1 cover of him being the Demon King as a human and probably making fucking hell a way better place with all his friends by his side.
Hell yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't, for the volume 1 cover, have a analog to every one of his classmates or references to One Piece has tons of stuff where it's very clear references to there will be this archetype in the crew.
Yeah.
There will be these people. But it's mainly just more generic types of demons. There's a succubus and
there's
the big woolly
traditional
fucking
demon with its pitchfork and shit.
Yeah. But Iruma's great.
It's
in,
incredible.
Every way.
Read it. Do it.
Now you get to read more.
Now I get to read more
great.
finally.
It's a win.
Yes.
It's a win for everybody.
Alright. Fuck yeah. Bye-bye.